Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new stream of CZBit, ZBit, and ZBit X Official, where we talk everything that's related to cryptocurrency, financial markets, and financial products. Guys, a very, very warm welcome to all of you. To all the people who do not know me and you're watching me for the first time, I am Nida Afreen and I am the host for CZBit and ZBit platform. So a very exciting yet another day in the day of ZBit after getting launched and recently getting launched, and then having so many new things that are coming up. So with ZBit launch, you are now as you are aware right now that there are so many exciting things coming up. So there's a lucky draw, there's a lottery draw that's going on the platform. So if you haven't really registered as yet, here is a chance for all you guys to go get that opportunity. On your screen right now, I think you can see the QR code which is available, which you can utilize to download the app and then register yourself. Once you register yourself, you can be KYC compliant, which means you need to submit your proof of ID and proof of address as the documents, or any other document which is being further asked for. Once you complete the registration, basically you stand the chance to 5x or 100x your reward by basically first of all by KYC registering yourself, and secondly by depositing crypto for spot or futures trading. So guys, there's something great that is happening here. There is nothing like you have to work too hard for all these things. It's the most easiest way to earn free crypto, and these cryptos can be in the form of any cryptocurrency. It can be Solana, you can be rewarded in Doge, you can be rewarded in terms of maybe Pepe or any other cryptocurrency which you might think of. So while the rewards are not guaranteed as such, because it's a lottery, it's a lucky draw that happens on it. So basically the rewards are not guaranteed as such, but for sure once you do this, you might be able to stand the chance to win that. So guys, if you haven't really explored this option, please go check it out yourself. It's a very, very easy process, not much of complexity out there. It's very easy to download. The QR code is there. Just in case you do not have a QR code, you're not able to scan the QR code, I will be sharing you the link. Just a sec, I will share you the link through which you can register yourself. You can use my referral code and my registration link to enter. I'm sending this in the chat, guys, just a sec. And here is my referral code. So if you find it difficult to scan it and basically register yourself, the QR code is not working, then this is what you have and which you can utilize to basically register yourself. So hopefully you will be able to do it. And if you are basically getting stuck at any point in time, we are there at your service to help you out at every single step out there. So we will guide you, we will help you, we will do every bit of whatever service we need to do in order to help you out in your crypto journey. So guys, hopefully you will register and you'll make use of this lottery that's going on. This is an amazing opportunity. So if you have not explored it as yet, you need to go and explore this opportunity. So moving on, I'm going to keep this on my screen for some time, and it is available just in case you guys want to scan the QR code. You can let me know. I will again put it in the display. However, while I'm actually going through different topics right now, so we all can see that all the cryptocurrencies at the moment are all negative. Like Bitcoin has reached 107 $1,657, which is at minus 1.71%. Ethereum at $2,735, which is lower by 4.27%. BNB at 663.87, down by 0.77%. Solana at 158.15, which is also down by 5.31%, and XRP at 2.2435, down by 3.55%. So every cryptocurrency out here, oh sorry, my god, I think every time I'm doing this mistake, I'm so sorry guys, because my screens are sometimes open like 24/7. Sometimes I close and I just open it, and I don't do the updation. Sometimes I kind of tend to read the previous data only. I'm so sorry. Just forget the previous data that I read. Right now Bitcoin is trading at $105,046, down by 1.81%. Ethereum has come down to 2,547.60. It is down by 6.76%. BNB is at 654.47, down by 1.39%. Solana at 7.90%, down, which is trading at 145.44. XRP at 2.155. down by 3.24%. And the fear and greed index looks like neutral, 54, and the overall market capitalization stands at 3.27 trillion US dollars. Volume is at 170.64 billion US dollars that it is trading at. So guys, there's all the cryptocurrencies right now are very they are all negative. And do you know the reason why they are negative, or why they are all not going so well? So primarily we know the reason being basically first of all, in recent past we saw that one big beautiful bill which was supposed to be signed by the President Trump, basically he was supposed to sign it in the White House yesterday. We saw some video related to it. I might continue to play that video also for some time, like what has actually happened on that front. And because of which there was like a lot of chaos, confusion in the market as to where we are heading towards, in terms of whatever the decisions that he is making for US. Obviously, he being the president of that country, he being the leader of that country, it's his duty to make sure that the country is safeguarded and continues to remain the superpower that they were. So these are few things that he is actually putting in front of everyone, where he's trying to take another debt to be able to pay his existing debt, and trying to cut cost everywhere, which means he's trying to even fire the people who were part of these, organizations, or people who are working for Doge and things like that. So there's so much chaos, confusion that's happening, which kind of actually impacted the overall prices of cryptocurrency, because investors started losing confidence on the way market is responding. So we saw that all the cryptocurrencies are being affected because of that. And then apart from that, there are so many geopolitical other conditions that are actually impacting the overall markets for sure. So one of the major reason can also be Israel attacking the Iran, basically, like there's a war that's going on, like kind of some kind of crazy things going on between Israel and Iran, which is also impacting the overall markets. And small things here and there is of course overall impacting the markets as such, which are not letting the investors or the traders gain confidence into this current scenario. So because of which you can see fear and greed index also at the moment is like at 54. It's a neutral feeling that everybody has, like nobody is either positive, nobody is either negative. They are like just neutral, because there's nothing much that's happening. So let's just look into some piece of information which kind of has impacted the overall crypto markets. And I really want to actually pass my condolences or my heartfelt sadness or things for the people who have lost their lives in the recent Air India crash that we saw. it was such a disheartening thing to actually view such kind of a thing, whether you call it like a human error or you call a machine error. Still the investigations are going on, and there's so much of interference from the international countries to help India understand what exactly might have gone wrong with the aircraft, whether it was aircraft's mistake, or if it was to do with the pilot's mistake, or if it was to do with, like, exactly we don't know at the moment. And I was actually, from morning, I was just kind of feeling so bad, and I was literally getting goosebumps on my body when I was actually looking at the videos, those shocking videos, those very disheartening videos that are going on. Maybe I'll play some information on that part also. Other than that, let's just watch what has happened on the front for Donald Trump. So let's see what because we played this yesterday. I want
2,750 districts. As opposed to 505. That's why when you look at the map, it's almost all red. It's got two little blue stripes on each side of it. It's almost all red. But now you have to... I always got along with Gavin. I like Gavin. I've liked him, always. He said I never called him. You know, they asked him a question on Fox, I guess.
So, before I actually continue to play the video, I'm going to tell you, we are going to keep it a combination of everything. So we have, maybe for entertainment purpose, we'll have a game that we will play together, or we might as well discuss a bit of trading activities, trading strategies, or trading things of it. And also, other than that, maybe some news here and there, and then maybe let's just talk about some other topics. So throughout this session, we have 4 hours in our hand, and I come live between 4 to 8 p.m. Dubai time. So I will be taking you guys through all these things while we are actually talking. So it will be a combination of everything. So we will discuss some news, we will have some technical analysis, and then we will have some fun element into it, where maybe we can play a game or maybe something else. Like, it all depends. If you guys have any particular request, you can also ask me on the stream, and I can maybe cater to that requirement too. So that all we will do. So yeah, let's move on to the news part of it and see what's happening on this, because yesterday we saw this video halfway, so I want to continue doing this now.
Never spoke to the plane crash was terrible. I've already told them anything we can do. It's a big country, a strong country, and they'll handle it, I'm sure. But I let them know that anything we can do, we'll be over there immediately. But it was a horrific crash. It looks like most are gone. They actually maybe have a couple survivors, which is just heard. But that was a horrible crash. Nobody knows. Nobody has any idea what it might be. I gave them a couple of pointers. I said, maybe you'll look at this or that. We saw the plane. It looked like it was flying pretty well. It didn't look like there was an explosion. Just looked like the engines maybe lost power. But boy, that is a terrible crash. It's one of the worst in aviation history. Yeah, second. Well, I'd love to avoid the conflict. Iran's going to have to negotiate a little bit tougher, meaning they're going to have to give us some things that they're not willing to give us right now. I'm the last person. I've kept us out of wars. We defeated ISIS completely, 100%, and I haven't had it's peace through strength. I believe in peace through strength. We have the greatest military in the world. I rebuilt the military, as you remember, for 4 years. I rebuilt the military, and then we gave a chunk of it away, but it was still peanuts. It was a lot, but it was peanuts compared to what we rebuilt. Gave it to Afghanistan, one of the most embarrassing moments in the history of our country, with the whole withdrawal, the way they withdrew. Was very embarrassing, but we rebuilt the military. We have the greatest, strongest military. We defeated ISIS. We defeated ISIS. We defeated ISIS in 4 weeks. It was told to be 5 years. It was going to take 5 years, anywhere from 4 to 5 years. We did it in 4 weeks, with, by the way, headed by the general who's now the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. That's why he's there. he said it would take 4 weeks, and he did it in 4 weeks. He did actually a little bit faster. So we have a great country, and we're going to keep it that way. And when it comes to Los Angeles or other cities, if we see other cities are gearing up, and these people are agitators, they're paid, they're professionals, they're insurrectionists, they're troublemakers, they're all of those things. But I believe they're paid, and we're going to find out through Pam Bondi and her great staff, her great people at Justice, who they are. And Mike, I think you're doing some investigations in that in Congress, but we're going to find out who they are, because they're really, I think what they're doing is unbelievably illegal. Just one thing, so they took the bricks away from people. They're walking in with satchels of bricks. Now, why do you have bricks? You have bricks because you throw bricks. They're very potent. If they hit you, they kill you. And they took them away. The military took them away. They saw him, what the hell is this? The guy could hardly carry many bricks. He's a strong guy, couldn't carry him. And they saw that, and they took him away. Then they found others with bricks. But they're ingenious. They also brought hammers along, very heavy hammers. And I saw them pounding the curb and pounding the sidewalk. And it was like a military operation. This guy's pounding, strong, boom, big shots. And it was breaking up granite, the granite curbs. And the granite was breaking up, and the concrete was breaking up. And there was lines of people standing there, and they're handing him. And then he stopped handing them. They just went down and picked him up. It was so professional. I said, that's a professional organization. This is not like people at random. This guy's breaking up because they couldn't use the bricks. So who would think of this even? Did a lot of damage. A lot of curbs are broken. A lot of sidewalks broken. But I never saw that before. That's one I haven't seen. I thought I saw it all. And they have it on tape. And with that, people get killed. You know, they go to the bridges and they drop the concrete off the top of the bridge with a car coming along at 70 miles an hour, and the person dies. We had a lot of car problems. You saw that. They were all over the road. They were littered all over the road, where the cars got stopped by concrete going through the front windshield. Now, these are bad people. If we didn't go, Los Angeles right now would be on fire. It would be a disaster. And we stopped it. And last night was very good. Nobody showed up. You know why they didn't show up? Because we were there. If it was just the police, because the police are great. I know those police, they're great, but they're told not to do anything. They're not allowed to act. Thank you. Well, I don't want to say imminent, but it looks like it's something that could very well happen. Look, it's very simple, not complicated. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Other than that, I want them to be successful. I want them to be tremendous. We'll help them be successful. We'll trade with them. We'll do whatever is necessary. You know, I stopped a war between India and Pakistan. And I stopped it with trade. I don't think I've ever seen a story written about it, but it was pretty cool. They were getting ready. Pakistan was their turn to hit, and eventually they're going to go nuclear. And I stopped it. I respect each leader greatly. I know them. And I spoke to them, and I talked about trade. I said, but you're not trading with us if you're going to go to war, if you're going to start throwing nuclear weapons around. And I said it to both of them, and they were both unbelievable, actually. They understood it exactly. They stopped. I stopped that war with phone calls and trade. And India's here right now negotiating a trade deal, and Pakistan's coming, I think, next week. And I'm very proud of that. Nobody died. The nuclear weapons, they each have very severe, very, very substantial numbers of nuclear weapons. And I think we should get some credit for that. You know, the whole Republican Party should, because that's their mindset. Please. Yes, ma'am. What?
What a show it was, and what a show it continues to be. And Saturday is going to be a big day in Washington, D.C. You know, a lot of people say, we don't want to do that. So, yeah, we do. We want to show off a little bit. You know, recently, other countries celebrated the victory of World War I. France celebrated. We're all celebrating. The only one that doesn't celebrate is the USA, and we're the ones that won the war. Without us, you'd all be speaking German right now. Maybe
much. I just said to Mike, this is fantastic. I didn't think we were going to see this coming for a while. Congratulations. This is a very, very important thing. Thank you very much, everybody. This is a very important thing we're going to be discussing. Please sit down. Thank you very much. This is good news indeed. People said it couldn't be done. You got it done. I just have to sign, right? That's very good. This is really something. And it has to do with the California Auto Regulation, CRA. It's been a disaster for this country. And I want to thank everybody for being here. We officially rescue the U.S. auto industry from destruction by terminating the California electric vehicle mandate once and for all. They said it couldn't be done, but boy, it's had us tied up in knots for years. And they'd pass these crazy rules in California, and it would be 17 states would go by them. The automakers didn't know what to do because they're really building cars for two countries. When you have 17 states, you're building cars for two countries. And I want to congratulate you all, the Senate, the House, the whole thing. It's incredible. I was going to sign a executive order and give it a shot. But the one good thing with this, number one, it holds up forever. And number two, unless somebody votes it out, they'll never do that. And it's just so much better, huh? It's so much better. That's so great. Very proud of you. We're joined today by the great Speaker of the House. I think he's going to go down as a great Speaker of the House, too. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. Who knows? Who the hell knows? I think he is. And he's doing something, the only thing I would say is more important than this one, and I'll tell you what, it's almost close. That's how big this is today. But the great, big, beautiful, I added the word great, I used the word. The great, big, beautiful bill, it's going to be one of the most, I said it this morning to a group, I think it's one of the most important pieces of legislation ever signed, ever approved. So it's going to be something very special. Thank you very much. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, thank you. Secretary Sean Duffy, and they had a problem in India today, and you're on that. Sean's doing a tremendous job. Secretary Chris Wright, everybody said you'd never be able to get him. He's the most talented man, they say, in the oil and gas industry. I'll let you know in about 2 years if that's true. Well, Doug Burgum, I wanted Doug Burgum to head up energy because he was so successful in North Dakota. He's governor. And he said, sir, there's one person who's much better than me. They said, who? They said, Chris Wright. I said, who the hell is Chris Wright? I had no idea. Now everyone knows Chris Wright. He's going to be more famous than me. But he said, there's a guy named Chris Wright, and if we could get him, he'd be better than I am, sir. And if you know Doug, Doug's not here, is he? If you knew Doug, he's always working someplace. But if you knew Doug, you'd know that he doesn't say that often. And he did. And Chris, you're doing great. But I don't like it. The oil prices have gone up just a little bit over the last few days. I was going to call and just really start screaming at you. Are we okay? Nothing wrong, right? It's going to keep going down a little bit, right? Because we have inflation under control perfectly. You probably saw the records. Everyone's on television saying, what's going on here? Trump has proven to be right. All of these things. We've taken in $88 billion in tariffs in 2 months. $88 billion with no inflation. And if we're smart, there won't be. Now, we'd like to get this guy to lower interest rates because, if he doesn't, we have to pay. We have a lot of short-term debt. Obama gave it to us originally, and Biden carried it on. They like short-term. I like long-term cheap debt. But a lot of the debt comes through because Biden, he didn't do it. I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. But somebody approved short-term debt. It's all over the place, and it comes due starting very soon. And if we would lower the interest rates by 1 point, we'd pay about 1 point less. That's $300 billion a year. Can you believe it? 1 point. If he'd lower it by 2 points, we'd pay $600 billion a year less. That's for years, 10 years, 12 years, whatever we make it. But we can't get this guy to do it. And the fake news is saying, oh, if you fired him, it would be so bad. It would be so bad. I don't know why it would be so bad, but I'm not going to fire him. I just want him to, we call him Too Late, right? Too Late is his nickname, like Too Tall Jones. He was too tall, T-O-O. And I just say this because we want to get rid of inflation, and we have. But we're going to be paying more for debt. And all he has to do is lower it. Europe's done 10 lowerings. We've done none. And nobody understands it. Actually, today when the numbers came out, they were so good. You saw yesterday's numbers, incredible. No inflation. Today's numbers. Today just came out, same thing, no inflation. They're all shocked. All these guys are watching from business, CNBC, and all of these different networks. Maria Bartiromo actually got it right. She's been getting it right for a long time, that one. I hope she's appreciated. And Joe Kiernan's been very good at CNBC, I must tell you, but other people aren't so good. But I will say that they can't believe what's happening. But if I could, because we can discuss, we get a lot of press, we get a lot of cameras rolling right now. Not that I like doing it, because I don't. But if we cut our interest by 1 point, for years, we save $300 billion. If we cut it by 2 points, we save, because it's pretty equivalent. We're going to spend $600 billion a year, $600 billion, because of one numbskull that sits here. I don't see enough reason to cut the rates now. And the problem he's got is that, and I explained to him, look, if inflation went up, cut your rates now. There's no inflation. We got it down. We got prices down. We got gasoline down. And you'll keep it going down. But gasoline's down. We drill, it's drill, baby, drill. That's why it's going down. But but think of it. I said to him, he was in my office a couple of days ago. I said, if you think there's inflation, let's find out. Because I think we're going to keep it down.
So we were talking about this indicator also yesterday. We had one buying position that has happened here. Also, you can see there is a buying position that has been created. In fact, it was created even here. So if you do not know what this indicator looks like, this is called X48 indicator, Midnight Hunter. I made some settings yesterday for it. You guys can go also make your own settings there. So whenever you see that there is a bullish engulfing or a bearish engulfing, so it gives you that indication 3 engulfing along with a triangle out there. So if there's a triangle along with 3 engulfing and a square, then it means that it is your perfect entry. So you can actually get into trade. So this is where you got one perfect entry. This point you could have bought, or at this point where you could have bought. How successfully are you able to take trade with all these signals? You need to tell me. So after this, we saw that the price has taken a move of almost, see, from here, the lowest point, the price took a 3.53 move, 3.53% move it took. So that was good. Then from here also we can see, where is my scale? So even if the trade was taken here in this candle, the move was still so this was also almost close to 3.69% move. So after our successful entries, there is actually 3 to 4% of market that has gone up. So my timing on the platform, like right now, what you can see is UTC time, which is 12:29. That I'm actually looking at, and I'm looking at a 5 minutes time frame. So at the moment, we don't have a perfect entries, but we can wait for another opportunity for it to get created. See what a big whale movement it has gone through. So SUI has also seen significant decline in the prices. So SUI had its own reason of going down, but other than that, those reasons, yes, of late of about yesterday and today, if we talk about the things which are impacting, is obviously the war between Israel and Iran, then the geopolitical tensions that are happening across the globe, like whether it's to do with the recent Air India crash that we're talking about, that's creating a lot of chaos in the media and in the public's eye. And also this one, regarding the one big beautiful bill. There's so many things that are being talked about it. So I think the overall market is getting affected because of that, and that is what we are seeing. So do you guys, create your? I think most of us, I think we all use Trading View only. Even I use Trading View, but because there is limitation to the number of indicators that we can use on this platform, so you need to watch this on various time frames and with various indicators on different screens. So since yesterday we are trying to analyze this X48 Midnight Hunter indicator, which gives us this signal for three engulfing candles, whether it's a bullish engulfing or bearish engulfing. We try to identify the point of entry for perfect entry for buy or sell here. That is what we are trying to do. We are trying to figure out since yesterday about it. So my timing here is 4:34 p.m. as per Dubai time, but on UTC is showing as 12:30, 1 o'clock actually. While we are watching this, we'll also play some game. If anybody joining in, you can join with me on. Where is my game? Oh, I closed it or what? I closed the game, guys. Mm. Let me check if I have it in history. Yeah, yeah. It's getting stuck, I believe. Let me try though. This purple is here. Brown I can think of, but unfortunately. Mm-hmm. No, what else can I do? Maybe I can try to. Here you go. This was easy, I guess. I think this was easy. Some of the stages are very, very easy actually in this, no? Wow, what a journey, right, guys? I have crossed almost. How many did I cross? I think this was also not that difficult, I believe. From first episode till 48th level, right? How much? 38th.
Anywhere. eToro. Join now.
Not bad. Let's play this video for some time, okay? Then I'll go back to the game once again and then maybe we'll talk about a bit of more technical analysis.
I think the last few months during the campaign, no. But if I've proven, I've proven it. I've done what I said I was going to do, and we've brought back tremendous numbers of jobs. And you're having auto plants built all over the country, all over. There's never seen anything like that. They're leaving from Mexico. They're leaving from Canada. They're leaving from other parts of the world. If they want a Mercedes-Benz, you're going to have it made here. It's okay to have a Mercedes, but they're going to make it here. Otherwise, they're going to pay a very big tariff. They already are. That's one of the reasons we have $88 billion. It's a lot of money. But that's peanuts compared to what we're going to be making in another few months. They haven't even kicked in yet. But we're not going to let any of these bad things happen, these stupid projections that I've been reading about for the last 6 months. I think these people are either corrupt or really dumb. And they're supposed to be economists. In the campaign, I promised to end this disaster, and today our Republican majorities in Congress have delivered. And I don't know, I can't imagine It's so obvious. It's so good. Did we get any Democrat votes? Did we get one? Two? Who? 35. I think that's great. I think that's great. You got 35 Democrats. I think that's great. That, as far as I'm concerned, one in the Senate. On something that's so good. But who is the one? Well, I shouldn't have asked. I congratulate her. I don't care. I think it's great. It's very interesting.
So this is the continuation.
Why did I ask that question, Mr. Smith? But in a few moments, I'll sign 3 pieces of legislation that will totally kill. You can't do anything about it. They can't take us to court. They can't do any of the things they can do with the executive orders. And it's permanent. I'll sign 3 pieces of legislation that will kill the California mandates forever, and they're never coming back. Now, the auto companies are the most happy because now they're going to be designing and building one auto. It will be much cheaper. It's a much less expensive. They were showing me, one of the most respected people was showing me that to save a little, like a half a glass of fuel, cost them thousands of dollars with new computers and stop it. The engine has to stop and then turn on and blah, blah, blah. And I said, does it work as well? No, it's terrible. It's terrible. And that's to save a little bit of fuel, this much fuel that Chris Wright can produce with one extra little oil well someplace, right? A small one, a very small one. But think of it. Your cars are going to cost you $3,000, $4,000 less, and you're going to have what you want. And again, you can get any car you want. You can get electric. A lot of people love the electric. They like Tesla. So do I, in all fairness. I like Tesla. And I like others too. But I also like combustion engines. And there are reasons for a lot of things. When I was in Iowa, we had an unbelievable victory, if you remember. Remember? It was nice. You won by like so much, nobody even talked about anything else. But that was a great victory. But it was unbelievably cold that night. And I was going to watch my victory in the area where I was going to make a speech. And the whole place was littered with cars. I said, what happened? They were electric cars, and they don't work in cold. I said, I didn't know that. And they don't work in extreme heat either. Other than that, they're wonderful. But if you're in a cold climate, how do you do that? But they're electric cars. And I noticed that, and then I didn't pay much attention because we won by about 65 points. So I was more interested in that. But I do remember that scene. I said, what the hell is going on over here? This historic action will also help us reduce inflation and bring down the price of automobiles and electricity very, very substantially. We're building massive electricity right now. It's already started because of that guy right there, Lee Zeldin. By far the most important man in the room, Mr. Speaker. Stand up, Lee. He blows you guys away, John. He blows the politicians away. I'm sorry right now. He's a great politician. He almost won for governor in New York, which is just missed by a few points. And that was another race that was not winnable, but you almost got it. But I think what you're doing now is even bigger if you want to know the truth. I think it's actually more important if you can believe that. Under the previous regime, car prices skyrocketed as a direct result of the mandates. These mandates, this nonsense that you had to do. And there's so many other rules and regulations that the car companies who are here today appreciate that. And Susie Wells is here today. Stand up, Susie. Most incredible woman. Most powerful woman in the world, they say. She's the most powerful. She was rated the most powerful woman in the world, Susie Wells. One phone call and a nation is destroyed. She could destroy 5 nations with 5 calls, and she's doing a great job. More importantly, right? Doing a great job. Nobody like it. Energy prices would likewise soar as the radical left forced more electric vehicles onto the grid while blocking approvals for new power plants. They want to block the approvals. They want you to have a car with electric, but they block the production of the juice that runs the cars, all of them, all forms of cars. It's just the craziest thing. We're in a different sphere now. We're in a whole different planet right now. The result would be rolling blackouts and a collapse of our power systems. We'd have a total collapse. You couldn't do it. You couldn't even do it. Think of it, they're forcing you to do something, and they want you to do boats also. I assume boats are being covered by this, and boats, they want you to go all electric, and the batteries are so heavy, the damn boat practically doesn't float. I used to have a lot of fun talking about that one on the tours. We'd talk about it. I said, what would happen if the boat sank? Because we went to North Carolina, South Carolina, we visited boat factories. Unbelievable guys. And they said, sir, we have one problem. They're forcing us to go electric for the boat. I said, how's it going to work? The boat will not float, sir. It's so heavy. And it won't go.
So nothing much happening on the technical analysis front. As usual, we're doing the analysis for SUI, and we haven't really found any perfect entry or exit point right now. Okay, your sell could have been here. Would you sell it here or would you sell it at some other point? That is totally your call. I'm not saying anything. So in the indicators section, you need to go and check for X48 Midnight Hunter indicator. Once you get that, you need to come to the settings point of view. In this, you just need to go and select MACD, which is already done for me in my current thing. So you need to take this MACD mode. And then in all this, you need to remove everything except shapes and labels. So wherever you see the word label, that you have to remove. That's the only question we have. Okay. What's happening with SUI, guys? I was expecting that it'll reach the 3.8 level. Yesterday, the prices were like basically predicted that if it will cross 3.5 resistance, it was supposed to hit 3.8, but unfortunately, it took a reversal and it's been down for quite some time. So since yesterday, it has been performing in opposite direction altogether. So my god, this particular indicator is a big huge indicator about so many things in one indicator actually. So that's why we did so many settings in this, right? We don't want to basically get everything onto it. So how are you finding this indicator, guys? Like, did you test this ever since I set this and the kind of settings I've shown? And is it really working for you? Is it not? You can let me know. Here we have some piece of information on SUI. SUI meteoric rise, golden cross signals a potential 380% explosion. 5 days ago, new BTC breakout inside. SUI is set to test 3.5 resistance with all-time high. SUI will trigger 96 million. Nothing new on this front. Looks like my camera is having some issues. Just a sec, guys. Am I audible enough to you guys? I don't know. Oh, so sorry. Yeah, my camera was playing up. So, are you guys using this particular indicator? If so, how is it working out for you guys? Like, is it useful? Is it not useful? What is it like you guys finding it? So in order to determine what exactly we're trying to do is we have to basically put those settings which we need to put, and that's when it will become useful for all of us. Otherwise, it has so many options out there. Like, I'll just show you, I'll just remove this and I'll show you once again this indicator, because then you'll realize what it is actually. I don't know if it has actually saved the settings altogether or not. Okay, so when you put this indicator, this is how it looks like. Can you actually understand anything out of this? No, right? So it's just a crazy thing out there. So all you have to do is first go to inputs. Okay, I'm showing you the settings all over again, guys, so make a note of it. Even yesterday I've shown you these settings. Just in case you missed out, I'll show you once again. On the input side, go to MACD and ticket. After RSI, you have MACD. Okay, then on the style, you need to untick everything except shapes and labels. Look at that. Oh my god, too many things to watch actually. This is why I asked you to make these settings. So now you know at least how to put the settings and then use it. So I'm leaving labels like that only. Okay, and then click on OK. So these are the settings that you need to do for that indicator. How is it working out for you guys? You have to tell me, because this indicator is, it takes about the 3 engulfing bearish and the bullish candles, and then it gives you that indication that the trend reversal is happening, or the price is either going to go upward or downward, depending on from down to up to down. It all depends on that. Like that, it keeps showing you. And I told you guys very clearly where is your point of entry, right? So whenever you see any 3 engulfing, whether it's on the red or on the green side, along with the square and triangle. If you find any place, that is where your buying should be. I think this is not my, this cannot be my buying entry, but however it actually could have been a good, although the triangle is not here, but then in this area we got a good momentum here, almost around 4%. Even in this area we got 4% momentum, so that way I guess we are having some good opportunities out here. So if this is going to work for you, you guys need to check it, back test it for some time, guys. Not just, don't use any indicator or every indicator just like that. This indicator, especially this midnight hunter, is specially for to understand the trend reversals. I'm sure each one of us, including me, I also come across this whenever I'm taking entry. In most of the cases, like, I take an entry and then the price reverses itself, like, every time. So it's a very difficult situation to be in, that we hope the price to go up, but then the price shoots down completely. So in those scenarios, so that we don't miss out on taking a wrong decision, this is where we are getting into. So whenever you see this 3 engulfing, which it will anyway show every now and then, but our point of entry should always be where the square and rectangle also coincides, because it's taking into consideration the MACD and all the other things that needs to be considered. Those options are being considered and then pointed out. So that is how you need to do. So start with paper trading or demo trading, and then you are good to go, on this part. I think I'm not too sure of, though here in the sell entry here, there's no rectangle here, but that could be a good point. Actually, you can see the exit could even be here. Instead of this, I can take the exit even here, which is like, a good point. The price has almost reached like almost 3-4% of movement has happened. So if I take this as the price move till here, it's almost 4.31% move actually. So you see, it's a good opportunity actually. And here it's not buy, it's sell actually. Your sell could have been here. So guys, I'm playing the video once again while you guys, not video, or else I'll just put this. I'm going to take a small 5 minutes break because I've been talking about all of this past one hour. So as you all know, Zbit is live on basically Play Store. So you can go download it. You have two ways of getting onto it. One is the QR code, which you see it on your screen. Go and scan this QR code to be able to register on the Zbit platform. Other than that, I have shared my registration link, the referral link, which you can use to basically enter, and basically you can register yourself. So there's a lottery and draw that's going on a Zbit platform. So the lucky winners can get any free cryptocurrency in the form of, it can be in any cryptocurrency, basically like Doge, Solana, Pepe, or any other cryptocurrency. I cannot guarantee, or we cannot guarantee you which cryptocurrency or how much of cryptocurrency will be given or will be, rewarded with. But you can see that the campaign reads like worth over $1,200. So basically, that's what you can actually get. So it's up to 1,200. So don't think that that is going to be the reward for you guys. So all you need to do is there are simple processes, steps that you need to follow. If you register yourself, you stand the chance to win one time the reward of whatever is being offered. And if you KYC register yourself and deposit cryptocurrency to start futures or spot trading and things like that, then basically you get the chance to 5x or 100x your reward, which means if you were earning one time the reward, then you might get the chance to earn 5 to 100x times the reward. So that's why we said that there's $1,200 that's coming into your pocket. So you never know, if you be the lucky winner, then you might have something coming up. So it can be either in any form of like Solana, SUI, or Pepe or Doge or whatever. So make use of this. The link is in the chat room, and we have our QR code on the screen. So while you guys are downloading, while you guys are utilizing this platform, anytime, any moment you're falling, you're getting held anywhere, our dedicated customer service team is there, and I'm also there live, available between 4 to 8 p.m. Dubai time. So you can get in touch with me at any point in time. And right now, I'm going to just take a small break while you keep watching Zbit. Hi guys, I'm back. So I hope you were able to download the app and register yourself. And anybody would like to share the journey, you are welcome to do so. Uh, मेरे सनम रे मेरा हुआ मेरा कदम मुझ पे बारिशों की I think this picture is not seen properly, no? Now it's better, I guess. सनम रे तू मेरा सन. Okay, so let's just go back to the technical analysis and see what's happening on that front. So I have shown the settings to all you guys today and tomorrow for this X48 Midnight Hunter indicator. If you haven't watched it, even in the yesterday's stream you'll find the settings, and even in today's stream you'll find the settings. Because we're going to test this indicator for maybe a week or two. Let's see. I'm going to anyways show you every day. I'll add this and I'll show you the settings, and try using this in your day-to-day trading, because it's very important. While we can know with Fibonacci retracement, price where until up to what level the price is about to retrace or will retrace. And through MACD we kind of get to know whether we also get to know about trends over there, because sometimes it's bullish territory that the price moves into, or it's in bearish territory. But then in MACD there's no clarity as to whether the price is going to go up or down, or the trend reversal is happening. Other than that, RSI, we know that somehow slightly gives little indications about from when it moves from the neutral zone to bullish territory. So we know that the trend is reversing and vice versa. So somewhere each indicator does its job here and there, and they basically help us out in some kind of information, but not everything. So what I feel is we need to have a combination of everything so that we make the right kind of decision. So while while Fibonacci can help you in terms of understanding where the position can be taken, like it will help you in terms of deciding what can be the 0.5% of the actual price that you should be buying at, in order to get maximum profits. Fibonacci can help you with all of that, and also help you in terms of seeing up to what level the price is retracing and then make the right kind of decision. A very important thing is the trend reversal, which usually, even if after putting these indicators, all of us always make this mistake, because we buy it at a price, but then we suddenly see the price going down altogether. So that is very disheartening to all of us, right? So that's the reason this indicator is being picked up, to test if the trend reversals can be analyzed through this, and we can make right kind of decisions on this part. So let's just see if we can get any perfect buy or sell entry. Okay, guys, I am not able to find any interactive games actually, somehow, where I can send you the link and you guys can also join. If you have anything in mind as such, do share it with me, so that we can play. Because I remember I used to have this games on Facebook which used to have multiple players game, where people used to join online. Somehow I'm not able to find that actually. So if you have any suggestions as such, do share it, and we can play some game together, where you guys can also join me in the game from your side, like the way you join streaming, and you guys talk to me, right? The same way you can actually join the games also and play with me, so we can have a interactive gaming session also. I think few days ago the price touched till 2.88 also for SUI, right? So this looks a good opportunity for all of us, since the markets are down for whatever reasons we discussed in the starting of the session. It's a good point of, because we're getting opportunity to enter the market again. So I think during such days and times, we should make use of the opportunity and get into a trade at this point in time. $2.99. I think the lowest it entered, the lowest it went today was 2.94 also. In fact, it went till 2.91 also. Okay, this is where the day started, 13th. So I think the lowest was 2.91. So right now if it is at 99, you can still expect it to go further down. I don't know if it'll allow me to put RSI here, because TradingView usually normally does not allow too many indicators to be put. So on my 5 minutes time frame, it says it's at 42.84, but if I change the time zone, let's see. On 45 minutes, it's at 34.43. It's almost reaching the sold territory on the bigger time frames. Like even on this, I think it's close. For the 15 minutes, it's at 42. For the 5 minutes, it's like 40.84. So you need to check this out with various time zones. 42.13. The yellow line that you see on the RSI is basically the moving average line. So that's okay. We don't have to bother much about it. All we have to care about is the purple line that we have here. So on the different time frames, it's showing us different zones altogether. So if for a short position you do not wish to take the position at any of these levels, then you can always follow RSI to see if it has reached the oversold territory or not, and then below 30 is what you can actually take a trade. So that is what you can take, but that is for long-term position. But if you want to trade with the trend, or you want to trade from anywhere, like anywhere in between also, that is okay with you, then these are mostly for short-term positions. And you saw that the short-term positions are mostly achievable like within 1 to 3 hours. That is what is possible. But having said that, like it all depends on the volume of the transaction also that you guys are getting into. If your amount is big enough, the next 5 minutes candle is just good for exiting the trade. You don't have to wait for hours together to get that trade. Like for example, here when I was pointing out for a buy signal here, let me go to my 5 minutes candle only. So when I pointed out here the buy signal, so suppose if you would have bought at 2.94 here, okay, let's just see this example with both $1,000 and $10,000. $10,000 at 3.94. What is it? 3.94 only, right? 3.94 or 2.94? Sorry, 2.94. Sorry, 2.94. That's the number of units you have. And in the next candle itself, like after taking this trade here, you could have exited here itself. You don't have to wait for so many candles to happen. So it is basically 2.9609. Let's see how much profit you get. I think with $1,000 you won't. Okay, $7 is what you're getting. So even if you deduct the fees, say about $2 to $4, you're still left out with $3 profit. So now this was for $1,000. Just add one more zero to this, and that is what will be your profit for $10,000. If you're investing just in about 5 minutes, you'll be able to make around $70. So based on the position which I have mentioned to you guys, like 2.94 is what if you would have bought it. Even with $1,000, you were able to make $7, and just set aside the expenses out of it, the trading fees about $4. You'll have $3 left out in your pocket. But in case it was $10,000, then add one more zero. $70 is your profit. Maybe on that you might have some, maybe I don't know, if in $1,000 you're paying around $4, then you might pay up around $40, I guess, on the bigger transaction, which is for $70, like for $10,000 trading investment capital actually. So is it good, bad? As a beginner, if you're able to earn, say every day with one trade, you're able to earn with $1,000 also, you're able to earn around $7, or say $4 net profit after expenses and all. or $70, net profit being $30 or something after expenses. I think it's good enough to begin your journey, and one successful trade in a day where you get such kind of an opportunity should be good enough to begin. So don't go for too much greed in the starting, because it's not good for too much of greed in the starting. So this candle out here. Hi Shahid, thank you for joining in. Yeah, thanks for appreciating. Thanks for joining in. With this candle here, like, just a sec. Where is my brush? Yeah, my brush is here. So with just these two candles, and I didn't even go to this level. Imagine if I talk about this will be like too good to be. Like, this is obviously like 1 hour time frame. Of course, like, the price from here, which is at 210, it reached to this level till 3:30. So almost one and a half hour is what it took for it to go there. So I am not even recommending that you stay like one and a half hour breaking your head and eyes over watching the screens and all of that, right? This just 5 minutes candle is good enough for your profit, and you can exit. Imagine if this is where you would have exited this place, okay? Like this place, what was the highest? The highest it went till was 3.0418. It was almost a 4% move actually. So imagine 340. So $1,000 divided by 2.94 is what you bought at, right? So into 3.05. Is that 3.05? 04 actually. So with this trade, within an hour, you could have easily made $34 as the profit with just $1,000 as the investment. Imagine if you're taking 10,000 as the investment amount, $10,000, add 10 to your 34, which is like $340 is what you will be earning on this trade in 1 hour. So this is the kind of potential I always talk about, guys. This is the kind of like returns or growth that cryptocurrency on a day-to-day basis it has. So if you make the right kind of decision at the right time and take the right position, then you can actually do this. So you don't have to necessarily put too much of money. Some people trade with even $100, $200, even lesser than that, which is very much okay. It all depends on you, and it all is your risk appetite, how much you are able to take the risk. So, or if you want to increase, you can, but all the decisions that you do, whether you do a trade at lower volume or a higher volume, it all totally depends on you only and the kind of profit you want to do. So only drawback is obviously when you have small amounts or the volumes are very less, then you might find it difficult after the fees reduction. The price might profit might not be great. So that will be one challenge that you will be coming across. So other than that, I don't think there is anything else. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you all my lovely people, whoever joins the sessions every day on a day-to-day basis. Try to support us and give your love and support to us by joining the streams and appreciating our work. Thank you so much for all that. Today, whenever the price is shooting like till 2.99, 2.94 on below 991 or something, for long position, you can enter into the trade. That is what I think, because already the price has reached its high also, after like it reached 3.04 also, right? So if you take a position at 3.90, sorry, 2.90 or 2.91, also, the margin is good enough for getting you the desired profits that you're looking for. So what a big movement, na? Although it didn't give any signal out there, but the price is moving in good direction. Sorry guys, sorry for my yawning, sorry for not being able to properly concentrate on the stream. Sometimes my eyes are paining way too much because of lack of sleep. So I apologize for all of that. So guys, Zbit is live on Play Store. Please go grab the opportunity to enter the lucky draw and stand the chance to win free crypto through the rewards section. So make use of the platform, register yourself, KYC yourself, deposit cryptocurrency in it, and then enter the lottery draw. I think I should play some music, but then the problem is YouTube is actually blocking the videos, that's the point. I so badly want to play music, but what to do? I somehow have fever, I guess. I don't know. So, one thing which I actually came across for all you guys is one piece of information which I also wanted to share is there is something called EtherScan.io. I think you would have heard about this. There are some explorers that you can use basically to find out the whale movement. So guys, do you trade in the direction of whale movements or the opposite of whale movements? Because when it's a very good strategy when you actually are trading in the same direction as the whales, because you know for a fact that whales are the people who influences the prices of any cryptocurrency, right? So if there's not much of liquidity in the market, which means there are not much buyers and sellers, then in that case what happens is any big investor, whether it's financial institution, VCs, angel investors, or anybody, they enter into the market or they exit the market, the price of that cryptocurrency gets totally affected. With their buy or sell, the price either can go up or down so easily. I'll show you this Ether scan which I came across, which is a very good on-chain platform. It's a blockchain explorer. So we all know that blockchain technology basically is very transparent, right? So every transaction that happens on blockchain is seen here. So this is what Etherscan looks like. And in case you want to find out about the transactions that are happening on the on chain, this is where you can do. So suppose I want to see the wallet of Vitalik Buterin. I don't know if he is there. I can do that, okay? I don't know if that's available. Let's see. Oh God, now what? How do I understand? So many Vitaliks are there. Actually, I found one site, whether it was Etherscan only or something else, I don't know, but there was some. So you see, when you click on these transactions, this is what the blockchain explorer looks like. And you can see there is a transaction hash, method is transfer, block. This is where it gets recorded on the blockchain. And this is from this wallet to this wallet. It is like getting, and what is this? This is Shiba Inu. So transaction fees and all of that is mentioned. So all the transaction that's happening here can be seen by all of us. So all I'm trying to say is, I know this is very difficult to find out because it says it has 500k records. But if in case you want to find out that whale movements, you can always go with, maybe if you click on amount, probably if it. So there is one here on BitGet. There is some person who is holding 8.21 Ethereums actually. So this is what you can do. I think there is something called SUI Explorer also. SUI Scan, yeah, not SUI Explorer is. So if I put Vitalik's name here, or shall I put Solana's co-founder? What is his name? Anatoly Yakovenko. Shall I put his name? Looks like this one, Vitalik Buterin's account. No, this does not have any transactions at all. I don't know why am I not able to find. I found this Vitalik Buterin's. Has he actually hit? Is it hidden or what? I don't know because I was able to find it. So with that, you'll know how much crypto is somebody holding, and what is that they have in their wallets. Are they having any other cryptocurrency, or is it number of currencies? All that information is always available. So when you see that there is a transaction which is happening from wallet to exchange or exchange to wallet, it usually indicates that there is some buy or sell of that cryptocurrency is happening. But if it is getting totally out of exchange, and the transaction probably is happening from wallet to wallet, things like that, then maybe the person, whoever is doing the transfer, might not be planning to buy or sell it. Is they just want to hold it for some time. So these are few things that you need to remember while you are actually trading alongside whale movements, where they are very, very important. Sorry guys, there is sometimes the camera is not loading well. Some error. So, do you guys trade in the direction of the whales, or do you guys trade in the opposite direction? How do you go about with it? So, sometimes trading with the trend which the whales are actually following is good enough to make good profit within no time. Let me put metallic butrins wallet, maybe if I get. Yeah, I think I saw it on this one, I guess. Arkham. Wait, let me open this also. So this is how the on-chain information for the whales looks like. You see on this, what is this platform called? Dropstab. It says that recently Vitalik Buterin, Ethereum's co-founder, made a notable transfer to a distinct wallet, sparking widespread speculation. Some see it as strategic security measure, while others believe it's a market play. Given Buterin's significant influence in the crypto world, such moves are always closely watched by traders and enthusiasts. This is what I was talking about. So if in case Vitalik Buterin, who is one of the, like he's one of the top whales, basically the co-founder of Ethereum, he is having his total portfolio at the moment is showing as 613 million, I guess, and he's at a profit of 613 million only. So you can see his portfolio, his holdings, he's having 100% Ethereum only. So he is holding around, I think he bought it at 2546.74, and 613 million worth Ethereum is what he is holding. This is what I was talking about. This is Vitalik Buterin's, wallet, or the holdings, the portfolio that we're talking about. So whenever we are actually trading, at times when you actually want to know where the particular, whales are actually investing, you can get onto this platforms called Etherscan. Etherscan. There is something called Dropstab. So this is what Vitalik Buterin's, portfolio looks like. And then here, this is what on Arkham. Arkham is also one of the good, on-chain analysis tool, basically, where you can watch whatever the whales are holding. So you can see Vitalik Buterin, he is the co-founder of Ethereum. He is holding close to 627 million worth of Ethereum. And it's not with just Ethereum. Basically, he's also holding White. He's also holding AETH, WETH. Like you can see what are the prices he has bought it for, and the holdings it has, and the value that he has. So like I always tell you guys, right, blockchain technology is one of the most transparent and publicly available technology, where you can watch anything that's happening openly in the thing. So you can see he's having Moodang, KNC, Dinu, WETH, Roger, all this at these prices that he has bought it, and the holdings and the value of it is, close to 627 million. So these are, look at this. This is what his portfolio looks like. So because he is a very big whale or shark, we can say. So here you see his largest positions and the net value. Then here you can see deposits, withdrawal. So these are the various platforms he is actually doing transactions, is what I believe. Kraken, Coinbase, FTX, Gemini, Yunbi. Is that how you say? I don't know, Yunbi or Yanbi, I don't know. So these are all the transactions. So whenever you see the transaction, if the transaction is happening from the wallet to the exchange, it means there is a buy or sell that is definitely happening. But if the transactions are just happening between, the transfers are happening just between the wallets, then they might not be looking to buy or sell. It's just that they are just storing it, maybe for whatever purpose. It can even mean, because if the volume of cryptocurrency is very high, then, they might as well stake or do any other thing as well. So that is possible, right? So this is how, this is what I was talking about. So looking at their portfolio, you can decide, in case, like, because Vitalik Buterin, he himself is the co-founder of Ethereum. So his majority of his portfolio is into Ethereum. So if he is the whale of Ethereum, so whenever you are trading in Ethereum, you can, make use of this tool to analyze his movements and trade according to his movements only. That way, when he is entering the market, you are entering the market and he is exiting the market, you are exiting the market, which means that you're trading in his direction altogether, and you can copy his trades, what he's buying, what prices he's buying, because all the data is available, right? You can see the price, holdings, value, everything is there. So yes, you need to do a bit of research, although I'm telling you all these things, but that doesn't mean you just go blindly and look at few things and then get done with it. No, please do thorough research, and then you can decide if you want to trade it in the whale's direction or opposite of it. So guys, whatever I share in these videos are none of them are financial advice or investment advice. So please, you have to do your own research. Even these stores which I'm showing you for whale movements, they are not some of them are priced, some of them are basically having some subscriptions, pricing strategies, things like that behind it. So you might not be able to get all the information like publicly available. Few things you might have to pay to the tool to get that information. So that all totally depends on you, what you want to do, and whether you want to trade in their direction or you don't want to trade, or you want to follow them or you don't want to follow them. It's totally up to you. So yeah, that's all about the whale movements that we were discussing just now. So I've been talking for 2 hours now, guys. I'll play some small video. I found a very interesting video actually I wanted to show you guys, which was on I think the co-founder of SUI network, if I'm not wrong. Oh, is it gone or what? It was in the morning. Just a sec. Let me just... I really feel very, very bad for all the people who lost their lives during this Air India crash just about 2 days ago from Ahmedabad to London. From morning I was looking at that news, and trust me, I was having such bad feeling, and I was like literally crying. In fact, I could really feel the pain of whatever the people out there must be going through, whoever has lost their loved ones. So guys, I had this video in the morning. I don't know. This is what I wanted to play.
From decentralized technology.
Let's just watch this to get some inspiration.
To uncover new insights from their data, like cost savings, operational.
Every business can benefit from decentralized technology because every business can do away with responsibility they don't want to handle. If you're using a phone, a tablet, smart TV, some payment happen, or you buying something, selling something, that's most likely involves SUI.
Why is SUI the best blockchain out there?
So, Evan Cheng is the co-founder and CEO of Miston Labs.
The creator of SUI, a next-generation Layer 1 blockchain, formerly an engineering leader at Apple and Meta.
He's now building the foundation for the future of Web3.
What is Miston Labs?
Miston Labs is the inventor and builder of SUI, and we're building the AWS of decentralized future. The company's mission is to enable decentralization.
What is SUI network if you had to explain it to a mom?
It's a software company, but you don't need to know the details. All you need to know is if you are using internet, there's a good chance it touches the SUI network.
Some people call SUI the next Sol. Does it make sense?
No.
Why?
There's never a new version of something that is successful. It's like, is Airbnb a better way to hotel? We are very first principle about identifying what problem we're solving, building a solution to solve that problem.
What do you think has won in the crypto ecosystem?
Nothing in the space has won.
Bitcoin hasn't won.
I think Bitcoin has established itself as a credible asset class. I don't even think even the Ethereum folks will argue they won from their perspective or their vision.
You said at the 1 year anniversary, we're probably going to be at 1% forever. What's the day where you can say, I'm proud of what we've achieved and it really made a difference?
I think
69% of the people who watch this podcast have not subscribed. If you enjoy this show, if it provides value to you in one way, shape or form, can I please ask you a little favor? Can you click that subscribe button, give this video a like and leave a comment down below. It helps this show more than you can imagine. My goal is to bring the absolute biggest and brightest people on this channel, and the best way to get there is to have all of us rally together and build the When Shift Happens family. Thank you. This conversation is supported by Jupiter, the most used decentralized trading platform on Solana and the largest DAO in the world. Bitwise Asset Management, the crypto specialist asset manager with more than $10 billion in client assets and more than 30 crypto solutions across ETFs, index funds, alpha strategies, staking, and more. 3. A scalable layer 1 blockchain that's fast, secure, and affordable, built by previous Facebook developers, and that delivers the benefits of Web3 with the ease of Web2. And Mental, an Ethereum layer 2 that builds 2 products I particularly like. FBTC, which enables you to borrow and lend Bitcoin in DeFi, and METH or METH, one of the largest ETH liquid staking protocols in crypto. To support this show, please check the sponsors links in the description down below. Welcome to the podcast room of the Mr. Labs office.
well, thank you.
I heard that it was never used before for podcasts. It's the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought it happened.
How are you doing,
Good.
Evan?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How is life treating you?
It's a lot going on. It's very busy. Incredibly busy.
The life of a CEO in this crazy market, crazy industry.
Very much so.
If you had to summarize what it is you do and why you do it, what would you say?
Well, we're building the most advanced infrastructure that is going to enable wave business transformation to actually finally fulfill the vision of the founders of internet. That's what we do. That's what is driving us, right? We're seeing how it went from this peer-to-peer platform for everybody to have the equal playing field to build anything, get the audience they need, to being completely controlled by a centralized middleman to extract value from the customer, to the evolution of introduction of crypto to see it being re-centralized yet again. And this is what drives us, right? The mission is much, much bigger than pretty much anybody realizes. That's what drives us.
Then click on workouts and click add new workout. From here, we're going to start with a new workout, and a great way to start building out workouts is through sections. So with the sections, you can have a regular section.
You said finally.
Finally,
Why do you say that?
because it hasn't been done. It has repeatedly failed.
Why?
It is really, really hard to build, and we have seen over and over again that any mistakes you make in terms of the infrastructure you're building, it is very, very convenient to fall back to centralization. And every time you fall back to centralization, the same thing happens. It's almost forcing company to go back to being evil, because with centralization comes responsibility. you're beholden to contain the integrity of your customers' information, their assets, their data. And something has to pay for the work you have to put in to be responsible for the information, for the data, for the content. And the way to do it is to take a cut, right? Centralized entity, everything from a bank to a web service, they all are providing like assurance of some sort, right? You're almost like insured. Like I leave my information, my content with you, you better not kind of, when I need to retrieve it, it better be pristine, hasn't been compromised. I'm trusting you with my secrets, my key. Okay, it's fair for me as a customer to pay you something. Right, that's the take, that's the cut. So it's a very convenient it's a very convenient business model. And for everyone. It's not their fault. If I have to do the work, I want to get paid for it. So what we're trying to do is say you don't have to do the work. When we talk about business transformation is imagine you building business where you don't have to do the work to care for customer secrets because it's guaranteed, because the decentralized infrastructure guarantees it. And also you don't have to do the work, then you don't have to think about how I get paid for providing that trust, providing that assurance.
You mentioned, you said finally, right? And then you said there was a few attempts that all ended up going back to being centralized. Do you have some examples of a few attempts that didn't work?
Well, take the most recent example, Ethereum.
Want to elaborate on that?
Well, Ethereum was supposed to be this coordination layer for the world computer, everything completely permissionless, accessible, and all that. And look what's happening on the Ethereum ecosystem today. Where are most things happening? The number one L2 is Base. They don't even pretend it's decentralized. They're very proudly saying it's centralized. And that's where things are happening, right? That's a re-centralization in Ethereum is happening right in front of us.
Why do you think that's happening?
Well, the infrastructure doesn't work otherwise. Right? Everything about the scalability, the cost issue, which they cannot solve, because architecture is built incorrectly. How to access the network, how to onboard customers and all that, it doesn't work. Security-wise, it's proven to be very fragile. It's very easy to hack. You go down the list. So now you have a big company comes along and say, we solve those problems for you. Trust us because Coinbase, the biggest player in crypto, is behind it. You trust them. They're they're providing their trust. Once again, we have a centralized entity incoming and providing trust. And there's no wonder. Remember, the infrastructure is built on top of optimism. So they can't even say it's fundamentally better than other L2. Why is the one that's growing the fastest? Because you have a public company behind it. It's trusted. So, distribution is much simpler. A lot of people have Coinbase account. So onboarding customers much easier. But nowhere, and it's probably centralized, right? And we're seeing the freshest example of, once again, peer-to-peer or decentralized model, just very, very hard to scale, very hard for it to be performant, very hard to build for customers.
I actually had Jesse Black on this podcast, and we talked about that. And also kind of poked him with a tweet that Kyle Samani, who is very pro Solana, obviously, he often says the future of Ethereum is Coinbase.
Do you know what's hiding in your business's data? Companies of all sizes use BigQuery to uncover new insights from their data, like cost savings, operational efficiencies, and new ways to grow revenue. BigQuery is Google Cloud's serverless, highly scalable cloud data warehouse at the core of Google's unified data cloud. BigQuery brings your data together in one place, even across clouds, for real-time insights that can reveal cost savings in your operations and supply chain, all without the need to manage infrastructure. BigQuery saves you time on reporting by making data easily accessible for self-service analytics with built-in business intelligence tools. You can use AI-powered recommendations to predict customer demand and grow revenue with built-in machine learning within a simple SQL interface. The possibilities are limitless with BigQuery. Give your data the BigQuery treatment. Get started today with the BigQuery Sandbox or get a $300 credit when you start a free trial.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to make a ethical, moral judgment here, right? This is the thing that's art. If I think that this industry is very naive in a lot of way, right? Look at the narrative we've been pushing for many years. It's like, what's good for consumers, for consumer to have control of the assets, right? We talk about not your key, not your Bitcoin, or not your key, not your crypto. It's a very naive way of thinking about it. It's because what's the flip side of that? Somebody have to build service, product, and business. And if you're building a business, you need to make a living. If you don't have a path to make a living, nobody will be building business or services that's good for customers. So there's the two-sided dynamic. And if your infrastructure doesn't allow that to happen, because you have all these other issues, it's inconvenience, too slow, it's too not scalable, I can't trust it, of course you're going to fall back to a centralized solution.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's very refreshing to hear. I mean, we're here in Palo Alto, Silicon Valley, San Francisco, and I'm here recording a bunch of podcasts with other people who are very down to earth like you. There's not many people like that in crypto. Talking to Brandon from Phantom, right? And I can definitely feel also your kind of Facebook background and like just being on earth and being like, hey guys, if we don't, not your keys, not your coin is great, right? It's a great concept in theory, but in practice, it's very complicated for normal people. And also, even for people who could do it or who can do it, when you have a certain amount of money, you don't want to do that, right? We want to delegate the responsibility we said before, right? And so, very complicated. And
very complicated.
And very refreshing to see someone who is just down to earth in this very nerdy world where everybody thinks, it's very theoretical always. So you're a down to earth person. Who are you?
Well, I mean, I was an engineer for or technical leaders, if you would say for 20, 25, 26 years. Before I decided to leave the comfort of big tech, comfortable, cushy position, and to try to do something that's really hard. That's who I am. That has sort of been my MO for my entire career. Is I like to take on things other people find very difficult.
Dear When Shift Happens family, the following message is probably the single most important thing you should take away from today's podcast. If you're serious about your crypto investing journey, please take some time to learn how to self-custody your assets to make sure that nobody can take your coins away. ever. If you don't learn how to be your own bank, it is very likely that one day you will lose all your hard-earned crypto. The safest way to hold your crypto is in a cold storage that we also call hardware wallets. Hardware wallets are not complicated and they give you peace of mind. I personally use a hardware wallet called Treasure. It is open source, very easy to use, and the first hardware wallet created ever. As we like to say it in crypto, not your keys, not your coin. You can order your Treasure wallet with a 10% discount by following the link in the description down below and by using the promo code WSH10. And now, back to the episode. What made you wait 20 years to start to something that is extremely hard?
Well, there are many factors, including personal reasons, but ultimately, two reasons. One is I feel like if we don't do it, we have to prove ourselves, right? If, we can't just talk about it. If we don't do it, I don't see anybody else recognizing it and have the ambition or the ability to execute on this vision. The other one is we feel like we had an edge at that point in time when we, in late 2022, say, this is the time for us. We have the talent. We have the know-how. So that combination, the convergence of those two understandings is what drove us to come out and start a company.
There's a common pattern across many people I talk to on this podcast who are very successful, working on very hard things, taking a lot of risks. They have something that happened in their life, either in their childhood or later on in their life, that gave them a chip on the shoulder. And that's why they have this fire in the belly. What happened in your life that might explain your hunger for success and huge fire in the belly?
Just give you a couple examples.
Greatness is not modest. It is fueled by hunger.
I worked at Apple for 10 years. I was recognized internally, if you ask around at Apple at that time, one of the people who know what they're doing, who do hard stuff. And I remember my partner and I received this ACM award, which is a pretty big deal. Once a year, they give it to some project, typically open source project they have made like massive contribution to the world of computer science. It's kind of like software system everybody uses. Apple didn't even say anything.
I read that the World Wide Web inventor also received this award.
Yeah. Or Unix, Java, web browser.
So you were recognized
externally,
but for something that you did at Apple?
Yeah. Internally, there was not a peep.
Why?
It's it's a good question. Like I didn't think a lot about it at that time. Later on, recognize it doesn't matter for the business. It didn't matter for the company. It didn't necessarily immediately at that time contribute to the business. Therefore, there was no recognition. And we can talk about the politics, company politics of the world. But that part is not really important, right? I'm sure if the world comes with a $1 billion contract to Apple, they would care. They would recognize. That's how it is, right? So I think that's that one understanding, the realization at the time was, well, I need to go somewhere where my work is really fully recognized. Clearly, there's something that I need to do better for myself to get the recognition, the reward I deserved. And also understanding there's only so much I can do to influence the direction of a very big corporation like Apple, which was kind of reinforced that learning later on at Meta, at Facebook. It is very, very difficult to change people's minds because they're focused on what is in front of them. And that applies to big companies too, right? What is the big company's focus, what they want to accomplish? You can't be just sort of shouting, you don't have your sort of soapbox. I could have stand on a soapbox and yelled about how important it is to decentralize, otherwise the world is going to go to shit, right? And that's sort of like was the understanding is like, if you want something, you want to enable change, you kind of have to do it yourself.
You have to do it yourself.
Yeah. That's pretty simple in a lot of ways.
Especially because in these big companies, there's not only people doing what is in front of them, but then you have also doing what's best for themselves as an individual in the company, just because, hey, I want to do well in my career, and therefore, How, just a parenthesis here, how did this Apple experience of not being recognized influence the kind of culture we're building at Mistern Labs? Because it's probably much easier in, again, theory than in practice to even say, hey, let's build a company that at a certain scale, we have a certain amount of people. We make sure, like, if something happens that's really like important to someone, we are even aware of it, right? Let alone celebrate it. But it's much harder than it sounds like. Make it work.
Yeah, I mean, people often say, "Oh, it's a big company problem. Smaller company wouldn't have the problem." That's completely not true. It's where every individual feel like if they have the agency to do what's right, what's important. If their first thoughts, do I do this? Do I do it this way? If it's important for the company first, rather than thinking about is this good for me? So that's ultimately the difference. So the company culture has to be everybody has an agency to do what's right.
Can you define agency? What's a high agency person?
They are not asking for permission. They know exactly what needs to be done. They are not waiting around for somebody's permission. That doesn't mean they're just kind of reckless and go ahead and do things, right? First, they have to have recognition of what's right. Secondly, they have to have ability to pull it off. And number three is to convince other people, their team members and the people who needs to know and help them to accomplish things. They have to be able to convince them with concrete information, concrete data. So that's the kind of company we have here. So everybody have the agency to, basically saying, this is how it should be done. Let me explain to you, let me prove it to you. This is what needs to be done. They're not waiting for someone to tell them to do something.
How do you find those people?
Would you like to learn how to trade powerful AI trading setups in less than 30 minutes a day? Hi, my name is Adam Harris, and I've been trading in the city for 15 years. I'm a proven ex-city trader with a track record managing 8-figure accounts. I've provided trading insights to some of the world's largest financial exchanges, and I've been featured on BBC Radio. I teach my trading strategies and my techniques to...
How can you judge in the beginning this is a high agency person?
I think a lot of people are like that. I think if you talk to, there's a lot of smart people, and everybody will agree this is the kind of environment they want to be in. I think it's most importantly just I think whoever's founding the company needs to lead by example. That's how we do things. They need to believe they have the trust of the founders to do that, right? This is why, using an example of Meta again, a founder-led company typically they enable changes, like shift in how company operates much quicker, much faster, because they don't have to look over their shoulder. And I think that's come from the founder first and foremost, setting example. Most people want to operate that way. Most people love to be in an environment that allow them to do what's right and don't have to ever worry about company politics and waiting for permission. And the waiting for permission part is really hard. At big company, sometimes we get sort of almost beat down, afraid to ask for permission, right? Because you think about the amount of work you have to do, the people you have to convince. A lot of people would misalign with what you want to do. We remove all those friction, remove all those worries. So it's very, very easy. It just kind of naturally happens. That's the way, that's the way we operate.
So you mentioned you have quite a few things that happened for this chip on the shoulder. You mentioned the Apple story. What else comes to your mind that makes you really want to kill it with SUI and Misten Labs?
I can tell you early on in the conversation about building a Misten Lab and building SUI, the number one question, the question we get asked the most is, what's your EVM compatibility story? What do you think about the Solidity in the engineers? All that feedback we receive about, Ethereum has already won, Solidity has already won. If you don't have a solution, don't have a story there, we're not interested. That is very much, the make the chips on the shoulder even bigger.
So it's to prove people that they can be wrong or that they are wrong, or it's based on all the feedback that you had from the actual field, saying actually, hey, the way it's being done until now is not going to work and scale, or is it a combination of both?
Early on there were no evidence of that. I think we have high conviction. We're right. And we very much want to prove people wrong. Because I think it's almost like it was a statement. It was not a question. And it was not one that invite debate. It was not one that invites, sort of this very principled discussion about why, right? There wasn't a lot of why do you not do this, rather than we believe that should be true. The market tells us that's true. Therefore, what's your answer to that? And I think even today, it's right. I say most of the projects, a lot of infrastructure projects still very much focus on being compatible and attracting the few thousands of developer to the platform, which to us, given the background we have, is insane. It's a small, tiny developer base.
It sounds like a corporate problem where you go around and there's things, for example, in the IT space, some reports or systems. Hey, why are we looking at that? Or why are we looking at that way? And they're just saying, it's because we've been doing that for 10 years. They don't really question the thing and try to get better. And that's kind of the human way of thinking, is like we like to feel comfortable, I guess. But just
how many times have you heard some kind of statement, something has won? Right. Surely this is all you need.
But what do you think has won in the crypto ecosystem?
Nothing.
Do you think there's one thing that can say,
no?
For example, Bitcoin, you would say Bitcoin hasn't won.
I think Bitcoin has established itself as a credible asset class. Do I call that as one? I don't even think even the Ethereum folks will argue they won from their perspective or their vision. Right? Remember, the vision of Bitcoin is money. It's a form of money. I don't think it won.
In fact, it was peer-to-peer cash ecosystem, not at all value. Absolutely.
is evolving into something that's different, which is great. I hope Bitcoin, believe in Bitcoin, but not necessarily. I would definitely not say has won as money. So nothing in this space has won.
How did you get so fascinated by the world of the blockchain and cryptocurrencies?
It really isn't. It's really, really, really different, right? That's the first reason why people are fascinated by it. People are fascinated. There are people fascinated by this phenomenon. A lot of people outside the industry are looking for when it's going to blow up. That's a form of fascination. And I think there's a lot of people fascinated by it because once you understand it just seems so right. A form of hard money, a way of an infrastructure where you can trust something that's infallible rather than human who are, fallible by definition and not trustworthy by definition. So it's really, really easy to kind of understand those concepts. And same thing how I got into this space. I was fascinated by this concept of distributed trust and trusting software rather than trusting human. Totally can understand the fascination.
And this was why at Facebook?
This was early days of Facebook. I actually discovered Ethereum and blockchain and Bitcoin late, 2015.
You worked at Facebook in a team called Novi Research. What was Novi?
So Novi was the subsidiary of Facebook that was kind of responsible for not just building the blockchain, the Libra DM project blockchain, also building financial services on top of it.
What's the single most important thing that you learned while working at the Novi team?
It's a good question. There's a number of learnings. I think perhaps the most important learning is I saw was, firsthand how a motivated, highly talented group of people who believe in the same thing and moving in the same direction, how much you can get done. My teams before were much bigger, much bigger. And I somehow forgot the early days of Apple when just basically two engineers started a project that actually.
So, guys, somehow, because of my health issues, somehow I'm not feeling that great today. I might switch off the camera for some time, or I might switch off the camera completely. The video will go on to play for some time, and then we will end this stream a little earlier than what we do normally. So spare me today. I totally apologize for all the inconvenience because I'm having too much of headache and I'm struggling way too much to to take this stream forward for 4 hours. So we'll have to wind up the session a little earlier than what we are doing right now. So please bear with me.
Change the world in a lot of ways, right? My software, my partners work on this thing together. It's literally in billions of devices now and impacting billions of humans. I mean, probably not billions, but maybe, I don't know how many people own smartphones and smart devices, but it's probably approaching it. How many millions of developers using it? The foundation of a lot of software. We started with 2 people and growing into a bigger team. Somehow through that process, then from Apple, then Facebook, I forgot what's it like to have this lean and highly motivated, highly talented team. What can be done? And that sort of reawakened that desire to do it again, to show what's possible.
Novi Research got shut down?
The whole project got shut down. So the Libra DM project got shut down. The Novi as an entity within Meta, I think it merged with the broader sort of financial service or payment organization that lived for a while. But effectively everything that was, involved blockchain was shut down.
How did you feel when that happened?
Companies of all sizes use BigQuery to uncover new insights from their data, like cost savings, operation.
To be honest, by the time it was shut down, we knew. The moment that hurts the most when we were we sort of shut down the blockchain development came earlier. The mission was to have this kind of new payment rail that will power everything that was killed earlier. And we struggle along trying to identify a different product using the blockchain technology we developed for a few months. I think roughly about 4 months before I left for good. We tried again to use it for internal other kind of project. Later on, remember Instagram adopted Polygon. We were meant to build something before that.
Was there really an adoption, or was it more like a... I remember the headlines and everything, but...
Yeah, the ambition was bigger. The ambition was much, much bigger. But was supposed to be this identity layer, supposed to have a way of... it never got anywhere. Again, internal challenges working at a big company made it impossible. So by the time the group was shut down, sort of like we were kind of numb, right? Because it's sort of first the regulator came and say, you can't launch this, you can't launch your currency, you can't launch your blockchain. That was shut down, and then we struggled a bit for another product, and it wasn't going anywhere. So by the time we were ready to leave, we're not feeling anything at that point.
So you left directly with the idea of Mission Labs?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened?
Yeah.
You left with your team members and started Mission Labs?
I left with my co-founders. I left first. My co-founders want to join, for various different personal reasons. They couldn't join right away, but I was fine leaving first to get things started. But we already knew directionally where we're going. We didn't have a design for SUI yet. We didn't have a design for, definitely not words yet. We didn't have a design for what that future would look like. But we had to directionally know where we're going.
You left Facebook to start your first company, Mission Labs, around the age of 50?
I think I was 51 or 50. So past 50.
What's your message to anyone who feels they missed their entrepreneurship chance in their 20s or 30s or even 40s and who think they're too old to start a company?
Clearly it's not too old to start a company. Not only did I start a company in my 50s, it's a crypto company.
There's this Gary V quote. He says, man thinks 40 is too late and never became a fried chicken billionaire. Probably talking about the Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
For you, for you, it's 50 and it's crypto. It's not fried chickens. So it's like definitely another level. What's the biggest challenge when starting a business at 50?
There's a lot of sacrifice. Family. My family was used to me being around all the time. I was mostly in engineering. There wasn't a lot of, it's pretty, stable is not the right word, predictable, right? Just focus on work, focus on engineering work, running teams, which is completely different than running a company. have to jump on a call at any point in time, have to travel when I need to travel, have to deal with all kinds of crazy stuff, have to be on Twitter all the time, have to deal with crisis, PR crisis, people attacking you out of blue, reputation risk. I mean, I had friends who were like, why did you go to the dark side? They believe crypto is full of, bad actors. People are just, this is, this industry still don't have the best reputation even today. It's a lot of bad actors, a lot of people, and they're just fundamentally not believing in the vision and of decentralization. Even today is a very, very difficult message. So I had a lot of those conversations with friends and colleagues and explaining to them what I'm trying to accomplish. Big vision generally was not easy conversations.
How do you negotiate with your wife?
Well, you don't negotiate with your wife, first of all. I've been happily married for many years, 20-some years. There's no negotiation.
So, fair enough. So what do? You're like, okay, I'm 51. I was pretty busy before, but we had a lot of time together. Now I'm building this company, and our goal is to change everything and finally
partner with Expedia Group to tap into our global B2B network of travel agencies, financial institutions, and corporate partners, and gain exposure to new audiences, including high-value traveler segments like loyalty and retail, who book more in the off-season and more midweek. List today to start welcoming guests from around the world.
realize this mission that the internet has, right? Which is a mega, you said before, in the beginning you said, this is much bigger than people think. What do you tell your wife? You don't tell her.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing, basically, and sort of buy some credibility along the way. Able to raise money, able to build a team, and then building product, launching product, and then go through the up and downs for a period of time to prove the product has product market fit. There's interest in the market for our product. Just along the way, earning credits. It's like, I have to prove myself all over again to her.
I mean, when you raise $300 million, like you can say, hey, look, we kind of like are on the right track, or at least like is a sign that would be a bit more chill.
If I were in her shoes, I'd probably have the same skepticism. Here I was, over 50 years old, being a geek, a nerd, my entire life. Never really enjoyed, really like socialize with people. Definitely not a business person. All that, right? And have to learn and do that at a ripe young age of 50 years old. Yeah, I would be skeptical too.
That's so interesting. You're an engineer at heart, but you are the CEO of Misten Labs, right? You said, I didn't like to socialize. Why you, out of the other 4 co-founders, out of the 5 co-founders of Misten Labs?
Well, probably because I stood up, say, I'm going to start a company. You guys want to come along? We all agreed. while I was leading Novi Research, my co-founder will work with me. They trust me. I think the first thing that kind of qualify me as a CEO is I earned their trust. I earned their trust on two fronts. One is what I'm trying to accomplish, and two, my ability to do the things I say I was going to do, building teams and help them with everything and learn and execute on everything we were trying to do. I guess they had that trust in me. I'm grateful for that trust. So far, so good.
Yeah. What's the hardest part of being a CEO? Especially when you're more on the geeky side all your life.
People say that, and I'm learning that's true. Being a CEO is a very lonely job because ultimately the weight of all the responsibility fall on the CEO. It's literally that I can't blame anybody else. I don't have an excuse. I can't look to someone else and say, they should have told me what to do. It's me. I answer to myself and I answer to everybody. But at the same time, I don't have someone to guide me, to tell me, to show me what to do.
You sometimes wish you had another role at Mr. Labs?
No.
The Libra failure and the Novi research shutdown were most likely one of the biggest disappointments for everyone who was involved and working for years. It was also the reason why you started Mr. Labs with your 4 other co-founders. You believe in destiny.
I don't think that way. I don't say I believe in we're destined to do something. I just have the overwhelming confidence in our destiny. Because what we are trying to build is the right way to do it, to go. We believe in this potential of transforming business. And we also, if you also look back to, again, you think about what internet was built for, what it's trying to enable, we're just carrying on a lot of that vision. We're trying to fulfill that. And that is right. I think everybody would agree that's right. To have a way to even the playing field, to give everybody, every competitor an opportunity to compete fairly. It's, I don't want to come across as sort of like a, more high ground kind of thing, but it's the right thing to do. Coupled with when I look around the people at Miston, and you're here, right, in this office, you saw the energy of our partners.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Everybody was like, we're right. I was like, is this a party here or what? Right. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah, we have overwhelming confidence. Future. And believe in what we're building is worthwhile.
What is
فيما يلي 5 حقائق يجب أن يعرفها كل مستثمر عن مؤشر ناسداك 100. يضم مؤشر ناسداك 100 أكثر من 100 شركة غير مالية مدرجة في بورصة ناسداك. 2.
Mr. Labs?
What is Mr. Labs? It's a very complicated question. Can have a very complicated answer. On one hand, you can say Mr. Lab is the inventor and builder of SUI, which you all know and love. You can say it's also the builder of wars, and you can expand upon it, say we're building the sort of the AWS of decentralized future. The way I would think about it is Mr. Lab is a collection of highly ambitious people who believe the future is going to look quite different than it is now. And we want to be there to pave the way for everyone. I don't know how to define it, which is what I like about it. It's not simple. it's not like the company's mission is to enable this. We can say that the company's mission is to enable business transformation to decentralization. But at the same time, I don't want to put out any kind of statement that would limit our potential.
How do you manage 5 co-founders at the human level?
You don't manage them. I often joke around to say, with people and with folks, is I'm completely unmanageable as an individual. My past manager have learned to let me do what I want to do because they learned that hard lesson and not try to manage me. And I look around, I think, all 5 of us are quite like that. None of us are manageable. We're meant to do what we are doing right now. I think we just have a lot of trust in each other. And I think we were lucky to have the opportunity to come together and experience what it's like to work together at Meta. I'm forever grateful for the experience there. And about Novi, that's the best part of it. And since then, we only strengthen our trust and belief in each other. So there's not much of managing 5 co-founders. I think all 5 of us believe this is it for us in terms of career. We're going to keep building and keep building together. And because we have that belief, everything else is not that important in a lot of ways. Whenever we have any kind of conflict, if you approach a conflict saying, regardless of what happens, we will find a path forward. We will have a resolution that we all will be comfortable with. You approach things very differently with that mindset. You're never in fear, this is going to be something that breaks us apart. Right? It's almost like if you're approaching any kind of relationship problem with that mindset, it's like you never have to worry about something will cause the kind of damage it will force you to consider a bad outcome. And I think you approach every situation in a very positive mindset. So that's what we have as 5 co-founders.
But that's much harder than it sounds like.
Do you know what's hiding in your business's data? Companies of all sizes use BigQuery to uncover new insights from their data, like cost savings, operational efficiencies, and new ways to grow revenue.
That's what I think. The third, I think, co-founder breakup is the third reason why businesses fail.
Running out of money, co-founder disputes,
and obviously product market fit. Things product market fit, running out of money, and then co-founder dispute. And it's one that is actually pretty documented, but people don't really talk about.
Yeah.
Because you never think. Like when you get in a relationship, you don't really think like, hey, this is gonna not work, right? But it happens a lot. And
yeah, most VC probably won't fund a team that was 5 co-founders. To them, the ideal sweet spot is probably 2. Solo founder is a little scary.
Is it
beyond 2 is scary?
Is it something that you actually faced in the beginning? They concretely asked you, like, do you need 5 co-founders? Like, what's the how do you convince them if you say that most VC will not fund a company with 5 co-founders?
I don't know if we're lucky, but I think we were able to articulate the roles very clearly from the very beginning. If you think about it, you have 3, let's just say 3 technical co-founders. I don't even count myself among that anymore. And they are in dispute, kind of a, like leader in their respective field, distributed system, programming language, cryptography. Okay, and that maps almost perfectly to what we're trying to build. Then you have my co-founder Eddie Nee, who is one of the few product person in the industry that have experience in large institutions and corporations, as well as, kind of have the experience of building, like a very crypto-centric startup himself. And then I somehow bring them together and provide leadership and have both a technical background and understanding of product and everything else. So we complement each other very well, and we have worked together well. So that has never arrived as a concern from investor. Maybe it has, but it has not been an issue.
What's your thought on because again, this is like something I've seen so much, especially for people who start their first company. How do you split shares in the beginning? Multiple co-founders, who owns what?
Yeah, for us it was really easy. We kind of just knew. I mean, basically, the story, I shared before was, Anthony and I were thinking about leaving to do something together. So when I decided to do it, I asked him to say yes. And he said, but we need these kind of talent. And he pointed to the other three co-founders, saying George and Costas. And then I think the second person I approached was Costas. And Costas said, if I just have Sam and George and Anthony, this is a done deal for me. And I approached Sam, he said the exact same thing, point to the other three people. And George was like, oh wait, you got these other people, I'm in. We just decided, because we saw immediately how the five of us complement each other, and we all enjoy working with each other. We all on the same wavelengths, we all want the same thing. We all had the same ambition, what we were trying to do. It was very natural. We never had those arguments about who does what. We had a little bit of debates about, titles or roles and all that, but never any dispute about responsibilities.
Did you have debates on who owns what? That's a stupid one, but it's actually talked a lot in Y Combinator. There's different ways to think about it.
Yeah.
But when you start a company, who owns what, and it actually can create problems in the future.
This is what we talk about. How do you set example? How do you create a culture of high agency people? How do you recruit them? How do you enable them? I think that's what we had among the co-founders. We never had these debates about who owns what and who should be doing what. And we just start doing them. It was just very natural. I never did fundraising before. I just we say, okay, now we have people starting to be interested in working with us, and we should talk about fundraising. I just start doing it as CEO. I'll do it. I don't need to ask for anything. Anybody, just start doing it. I had to building our team. We need to figure out how to, I never even worked with a lawyer before. I have to hire a general counsel, start interviewing people, talking to people. We just start doing things. And if anybody has opinions or suggestions, we just offer them to each other. There was never any debate about who owns what. And that's the foundation. This has been the way we operate from the very beginning.
I asked you before, what is Mr. Labs? You said it's complicated.
The wait is over. BDEG goes live June 13th. Available on 20+ crypto platforms, including Tier 1 and Tier 2. 150 million BDEG community pool closes June 13th. Get started at launch rate $0.0018 per BDEG. Security I
like to do what I call the mother test. What is SUI network if you had to explain it to a mom?
Ooh, hard one. To my mom, I would say it's a software company, it's an infrastructure company, but you don't need to know the details. All you need to know is in 5 years, if you're using a phone, if you're using a tablet, you're using a smart TV or whatever, that's something is happening on the internet. Something